Happy New Year, everyone. I wanted to do a 16 card drawing to lead us into the new year and look at coming themes and things we can expect and guidance from Spirit at this time. And I decided to do a 16 card reading today for a couple of reasons. First of all, because 16 energetically is similar in numerology to the year 2023, which we're moving into. Both equal 7 when you add the digits together. And secondly, because 16 is a very significant number, especially identified in biogeometry, which is a fascinating area of study, because of the connection with the Fibonacci sequence or the golden ratio, which is sacred geometry. So it'll be a 16 card reading. The first 4 cards will look at the coming up 4 seasons. Coming up winter if you're in the northern hemisphere, summer if you're in the southern hemisphere. And then throughout the year, we'll look at a card for the overall theme of 2023. We'll get some cards for guidance from Spirit, and then I'll pull some cards from a few different decks just for variety. And then the last 4 cards, we'll take a look at just overall messages for the coming 4 years. So actually looking ahead to 2027. So thank you for watching, and we'll get started with card from Spirit right away for the coming season. And we have the King of Pentacles in reverse. And then the next season, which would be spring if you're in the north, or fall if you're in the south. We have the Two of Pentacles. I'm just going to take the top card. And then we have summer for Northern Hemisphere people, or winter for Southern Hemisphere people. And we have the Lovers in reverse for summer. Trying to get it in the camera here. Or winter, depending on where you live. And then we have the last season of 2023, which would be fall if you're in the north. Oops, right away. Ooh, and the Tower. Or summer if you're in the south. So Tower reverse, though, which isn't quite as traumatic as Tower upright. All right, so then a card for overall theme for the year 2023. Okay, I'll just take the top card that fell out, which we have the King of Cups, which is a wonderful energy. Next, suggestions for what we should be letting go of and releasing heading into the new year. There's many ways of drawing tarot cards, and some people shuffle until it feels right and then draw the cards straight off the deck. Some people lay the cards out and then feel for what feels like a match, what's calling forth. And I've gotten into the practice of just shuffling until a card volunteers itself. And I do have 2 small boys who are upstairs playing. So if you hear arguing or racket, they're fine. They're just playing. All right, so then what to let go of? We have 9 of Swords. And and something to embrace going forward into 2023. And I'll just take the top card. Oh, we have the Empress in reverse. Beautiful. I love it. And general guidance from Spirit. Just an overall card to kind of keep us on track with whatever our goals are. Oh, Four of Wands. I love it. This is already turning out to be such a beautiful reading. Okay, and then before I get into my other decks, we'll have the best outcome for 2023. Just an overall for the collective, for us individually. What is our target? What's the best we can hope for out of this coming year? Maybe something to keep us focused and optimistic. Oh, that's juicy. We have the Magician, Magician reverse. I love it. So that's exciting. Okay, so I wanted to get hopefully a better angle on the cards and what they look like. And before getting started, just a couple of notes. First, I like to look at kind of the layout of, or the composition between upright cards and reverse cards. And there's different ways to interpret reverse cards. Some people don't even bother to interpret the message behind reverse cards, but I find it just adds so much more richness and depth to tarot readings when you look at reverse cards. And again, everybody's got their own different take on it. And my personal take, it depends on sort of what you agree or what you intuitively are led to do with spirit. What I tend to take the reverse cards meaning as is directing the energy inward. So upright, I really see the energy as being directed outward as pertaining to our external world. And when they're in reverse, I typically see that or interpret that as the energy being directed within. So that's sort of how I interpret reverse cards. Also, I like to see the balance of major arcana, which are, the ones with big fancy titles like these guys here, versus the minor arcana, which are the suits, swords, cups, pentacles, and wands. And in this case, in this deck, it's an 80 card deck, and there's 24 major arcana. So that's 30% major arcana. In this spread, we have 4 out of 9, so close to 50% major arcana. So major arcana speaks to major life themes. So what this tells me is there's a lot of big life energy, big theme energy coming up for 2023. So just to get us started, this card represented January through March, which again, depending on which hemisphere you're in, will either be winter or summer. And we have the King of Pentacles in reverse. So typically the King of Pentacles, when he's upright, speaks to manifesting wealth, having a lot of focus and success with the material realm. In reverse, the message that seemed to come through was to redirect our focus away from finances and material gain and more toward the contributions, experiences, and energy that we wish to share. The money will follow in time, as we'll see throughout the rest of this reading. So just as I know a lot of times when we go into the new year, we're really focused on the goals and our aspirations. And a lot of times, myself included, that focus is a lot on, how can we get ourselves into a better position financially in the new year? But this card is really saying, let's steer away from that. Let's steer away from that focus on finances and let's steer more towards other priorities, which leads us right into the Two of Pentacles, which is the card for April through June. Again, that could be spring if you're in the north or fall if you're in the south. And Two of Pentacles, as you can see from the card, is all about balance, balancing priorities, sometimes easy, sometimes hard. And so that's going to be a big theme for that season. So continue to focus on what you value rather than what you desire, and things will go more smoothly. The Two of Pentacles can be a bit precarious, can be a little bit of a struggle sometimes. Sometimes we're afraid we might drop something, something might fall through the cracks. And this is saying, if you just continue to focus on your values and your energy rather than what you desire, things will go more smoothly. And then we have some major arcanas to end the second half of the year for us. The Lovers in reverse is the card for July through September. So summer in the north or winter in the south. And Lovers upright, of course, can be about lovers, but it's also about harmony and trust. So I see this as, again, being a reverse card, directing that energy inward. So building our inner harmony and our self-love by honoring our energy, aligning with what resonates in a positive way. So then to end the year, so we're looking at the months of October through December, being fall in the north or spring in the south. We have the Tower, which is usually in reverse. Tower usually stands for significant change, significant transformation, usually of a catastrophic nature. This would be things like, upright. It would be things like losing a job or a death of a loved one or something that completely rocks your world and shakes you to your core. It's deeply transformational. But again, being in the reverse position, we're looking at sort of an internal transformation, which is always, the Tower always results in something for the best eventually. So this could be a spiritual awakening, an energy upgrade, a massive mindset shift. It will be life-changing, but again, for the better. And especially with our dear King of Cups here, representing the overall theme for 2023. King of Cups, look at him. He's just a chill, happy dude. He's a king. He rules his realm quite happily, quite successfully. The suits, cups in the suits deals with emotions. So this king is all about love and being heart-centered. And he's full of compassion, but he also represents emotional balance. So he's not going to be walked over. He's not going to be taken advantage of. He's a king. He holds his own. So he doesn't get swept away by emotions, but he is very much in touch with his feelings and his emotions. So I love that is the theme for 2023, is just having that heart-centered living, that heart-centered focus, leading with our hearts, being in touch with our feelings, but again, being in balance, and just making sure that we are not ignoring our feelings, but are in touch with our feelings, but not being led, not letting our boats be knocked about too severely by the waves, kind of remaining that authority and that centeredness. So then what to release in 2023? I always love readings like this. I do tarot all the time, but when they come out so beautifully and perfectly like this, it's always mind-blowing, even now. So what to release? We have the Nine of Swords, and you can probably tell from the card itself what we're looking to release. We've got just all these threats and angry people, and this person in bed, this poor lady who just can't get any sleep. She can't get any rest. She's stressing out. She's worried. So that's the kind of energy that Spirit is saying, let go of that. Get rid of that. Turn away from that. I know it's easier said than done, but focusing on negativity only manifests more into your life. The universe is a mirror that reflects the energy that we put out. So, I was actually watching a channel by Bashar last night, and, um, he talks about this too, but Spirit wants us to feel joy. And we'll see that again through the other cards here. Spirit really wants us to feel joy. That's what we're here to do. We can learn our lessons, but we don't have to learn them in a harsh way. We can learn them joyfully. We can learn them with love. Um, Again, going back to Bashar because it's fresh on my mind. He says you can't control what happens to you, but you can control what you do with what happens to you. So, I was in a situation last night, and the energy was very draining. And, instead of getting totally beat down by it, I thought, what a great opportunity to practice, being more protective with my energy and maintaining my own energy rather than letting this negativity get me down. So it's that kind of thing. We can't necessarily control when other people are going to be, you know, barking at us or getting on our case, or when stressful situations can come up, but we can look for that silver lining, and we can try to honor those emotions, but also just try to steer our focus in a more positive direction. So then, as far as what to embrace, this is so beautiful. We have the Empress, and the Empress, just incredible. I'll turn her upright for the video, but just what incredible Venus energy, total Venus energy with the Empress. Look at all those roses and pomegranates around her and flowers. Very Taurus energy, also very grounded. The Empress is, if we were to give a connection to an entity, it would be Gaia for sure, Mother Earth, the Empress. So what to in reverse? So we need to directing that energy inward. So the Empress, what we're being told to embrace is self-love and self-care, time in nature, anything that brings you joy, beauty, peace, and connection with Mother Earth. Just that Venus energy just loves to sit on the divan eating grapes, and watching the sunset. So anything that brings us joy and fulfillment is what we're being told to embrace by Spirit here in 2023. And then guidance for Spirit, we have the Four of Wands, which is just such another beautiful card. So Wands is a suit for inspiration. Fours in tarot are always about stability and centeredness. Four of Wands is very much about the home and harmony, again with those four posts there. So Four of Wands stands for celebration, relaxing, enjoying time with family and friends, being grateful for all the blessings in our life, and again, pursuing whatever brings us joy. So again, we were sort of told the same thing very similarly by Spirit for what to embrace. And then again, just overall guidance. This message is coming in loud and clear about just embracing joy, letting go of anything that brings us down and just bringing joy. And then this is epic. I love this. So the best possible outcome for 2023 is the Magician, again in reverse. So the Magician speaks to, he's the main manifester. He's the manifesting guru of the entire tarot deck. And he's major arcana. So, and look at that. There's the Ouroboros I just noticed on the card. That's amazing. Sorry, personal aside, but that was another reading I had done about what to focus on for myself. So, which stands for your subconscious manifesting into your consciousness, thought forms manifesting into reality. So again, just manifestation here with the Magician. And I love that he is in reverse because, again, we're being directed to bring that energy inward focused. So we can manifest, but Spirit is making a very strong message with this card being in reverse, saying manifest by working on your personal energy first. So manifest personal well-being. Be able to choose the energy you experience and put out into the world by choosing that energy, being aware, developing that awareness and that cognizance about what kind of energy you're transmitting. Turn your dreams into a reality by starting with your mindset and with your heart focus. So there we have it. I'm going to do another 3-card reading here with 3 other decks. All right, so I've got the Journey of Love deck and a Mediumship deck and the Goddess deck. So just to give a little bit of a variety to this reading. So first of all, with the Journey of Love deck, I love this deck. It's an Alana Fairchild deck, and the messages are just always so beautiful and always so spot on. So we'll see what card wants to pop out for 2023 from this deck. Sometimes the cards pop right out immediately, and sometimes they don't. And I'm a bit slower of a shuffler because I keep my eyes closed because I don't want to possibly influence what Spirit wants to pop out. All right, I'll give it one more shuffle and then maybe we'll move on to a different deck if this one doesn't have anything to share with us today. Oh, there we go. All right, right at the very end there, we have Knowing Without Knowing. Take a look at that in a minute. And then how about some goddess energy? What goddess wants to come forth and give us some inspiration, some guidance heading into 2023? Ah, very cool. We have Bridget coming out. Okay. And then lastly, mediumship. What way can we work on focusing on developing our connection to Spirit, with our spirit guides, our spirit allies, our healthy, healed, and whole ancestors, our star being, family, advice. All right. Intuitive walking. That sounds interesting. All right, so from the Journey of Love deck, the card that eventually came out was Knowing Without Knowing, which is all about listening to your heart, listening to not your intellect, but more of your knowing in your body, knowing in your intuition. And if you're a follower of Lee Harris, this is just ties in directly with what he has said about 2023, which is just being that we will be more in tune with a heart connection. And that's really what I see this card speaking to, which is just leaning in to listening to our heart's inner knowing, and that spirit wants to come through in a bigger way, a more collaborative way, but we need to learn to trust our intuition and let go of intellectual understanding to make the most of this partnership. So again, just learning to trust. The pendulum is swinging more to right brain rather than left brain centeredness. If we're to be swept up in a positive way into this new way of being, we really need to drop out of the mind and drop into the heart, which is just a beautiful message for the coming year. And I just was researching all about Bridget, getting as much as I can with information about her, since she was the goddess that chose to pop out for us today for 2023. And I also feel this is very appropriate. She has a lot of different significances. She's a very, very complex goddess in the Celtic, ancient Celtic, pre-Christian Celtic belief system. She's known to be a goddess of healing, also of inspiration. She's a seer, so again, tying back to the intuition. And she also has a deep connection with the Fae. So she allows us a connection with the subtle realms as well. And just on a personal note, I have been just being led more and more to working with the Fae and being more aware of the Fae. And I include elves and gnomes and dwarves and, just all of it, into the kind of one bucket of the Fae. But just more of the subtle realms, the subtle energies that most of us can't physically see. But as we become more attuned to their energy field, we can sense them. We can sense them more and more. And I really feel like as we shift our consciousness, the Fae want to come back. They want to reestablish that connection. And I think Bridget is signifying that with popping out today. And, the other connection Bridget has is to Avalon, the ancient myths of Avalon, of course, of being just this place of abundance and fertility. And so I think this is all just foreboding that the more in connection we can become to nature, with the elements. She's very connected, as you can see from this card, to fire, as well as the wells and rivers, in fact, of Ireland, the ancient wells. What a beautiful, rich mythology that is as well. So Bridget is the goddess of wells and all that signifies: wish making, magic making, manifesting. Fire again being a substance that can consume, but it can also create. So she just has a lot going on. She also is often celebrated in conjunction with Imbolc. I don't think I pronounced that right, so sorry, but it's February 1st. It's midway between winter and spring. And that is a time when you can finally, after so many dreary months, start to see little buds starting to pop out. And it's just such a time of hope after the dreary winters to start to see that. So hopefully that's a good omen for us as well going into 2023. Just maybe we will start to see the small buds appearing of our ascension, our transcendence, our elevation of our consciousness, our connection with the subtle realms, our breaking free from the traps of intellectualism and our minds, and just embracing all of the heart knowing and emotion and connection to nature that is so evident in all these other cards as well. So rather an anticlimactic maybe conclusion to the three cards here from the mediumship deck is just a way to connect more with spirit, and intuitive walking popped out. And that really is just exactly as it sounds. It's connecting with spirit by getting outside, letting our mind relax again, breaking free from the shackles of our mind, just wanting to run, 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 run. I know I really struggle with that, because when we can drop into our more inner knowing, um, into our heart space, into just being present in our bodies, even embodying, checking in with our emotional um, selves, our emotional bodies, we can have more access to the messages that are wanting to come through from spirit through that presence, that intense presence, being in the present moment, rather than um, thinking about the past or the future or getting tangled up in whatever our minds are leading us, whatever rabbit trails our minds are leading us down. So we'll end by 4 cards going for the next 4 years. This is pretty much it for 2023. So the next 4 cards will be 2024, 2025, 2026, and 2027. All right, so I've got my tarot deck back, and I'll just ask for an overall theme for 2024. Oh, 3 cards spilled out. Or no, 2. And the one that's face up is the 3 of Swords in reverse. All right. And then 2025. We have 6 of Wands. Okay. 2026. Temperance. Oh, okay. And then lastly, for today, looking ahead to 2027. Whoa. That was explosive. Maybe there's a lot gonna go on in 2027. All right, let's try that again. Okay, again, lots of cards wanting to come out. But I'll just go with the first one that popped out, which was the King of Swords. Okay, so admittedly, the next 4 years aren't looking quite as juicy as 2023. We have the 3 of Swords in reverse, representing an overall theme for 2024. Upright 3 of Swords is what it looks like. A broken heart, a hurting heart, and betrayal. And so when we have the 3 of Swords in reverse, that tells us that we may be dealing with some of those themes on an internal level. So we may be recovering from grief. We may, on a positive note, we may be experiencing release from patterns of negative self-talk and limiting beliefs. So there may be some big challenges we face in 2024. So it will be important to lean on the lessons learned from 2023 about embracing joy and connecting with spirit and our intuition. So doesn't look like it's maybe going to be too much of a fun ride in 2024, but again, we will have had 2023 looks to be pretty significant and pretty positive. So we should, as long as we pick up on all the themes that we've talked about, manifesting positive energy from within, connecting with spirit and Mother Nature, working with the Fae and the subtle realms, we can use all those resources to make our way through this. And then 2025, we've got a bit of a bright spot in 2025. You can see it looks like we come out of 2024 victorious, successful. You can see he's got a wreath. He's riding across the finish line after achievements in battle, is what the card looks like here. Um, and so we can experience success, really have some time to shine in 2025, experience some reward and some enlightenment, and probably just some relief, since it looks like 2024 might be a bit difficult. And then 2026, we got more positive energy coming in with Temperance, a major arcana card. You can see she's an angel who is performing some alchemy, some magic with water, left to right, kind of going back to that Ouroboros symbol with the magician here. There's an all-seeing eye above her head. So Temperance has a lot of different themes. Kind of the obvious ones are patience and balance and harmony, but there's also in there, like I said, alchemy, and just being able to really work with and integrate all the lessons learned from all these years, and just kind of creating the world that we want to create, by having that inner peace, which we will be working on throughout these years. And then finally, for 2027, we have another king. Kind of interesting that the overall theme for 2023 was a king, and we have another king for 2027. So the King of Swords, swords is the suit for intellect and communication. With being a king, he has, much like this king, authority and knowledge and leadership. So he also is courageous, and you can see he's got a crow, or maybe it's a raven, I'm not sure which, on his shoulder. So maybe that's speaking a bit to Odin. Perhaps we'll have some Odin energy coming through in 2027. And he, being an intellect, he can really keep an eye on the big picture, bird's eye view, while dealing with details. So I think we will just really be able to own our place, own our place in the world and our direction, and making decisions based off of heart and mind energy. We probably have coming together full circle back to the mind in 2027. So overall, 2023, pretty spectacular. I love everything that played out. 2024, maybe a bit of a rocky ride, but we at least have all the 2023 and all the lessons learned to look forward to, connecting with spirit in a bigger way, and success coming back, triumph in 2025 and beyond. So thank you so much, and have a wonderful new year.